न कुरोरधिकं तत्त्वं न कुरोरधिकं तपः तत्त्वज्ञानात्परं नास्ति तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. Jai Shri Kadapai Paramahamsa Satchidananda Yogeshwara. Once again, feeling very happy to talk to you all. I definitely feel this is a great task that Swamy has given to me after finishing a long chapters in Tamil and with whatever the little knowledge gained, getting into doing this service in English. Once again, my Atma Namaskarams to Paramahamsa Satchidananda Yogeshwara. So in today's discussion, we're going to see about the frustrations that we all have in life and the tiredness of this life we talk about day in and day out. I understand, right? It's like ocean of misery that everyone has in this life, and yet we keep craving for the external peace. We crave for external peace by forgetting that it is not possible at all without having a self-realization and going towards the eternal peace. We all want to be peaceful, but the problem is we are not keen enough to work towards it. What do I mean by that? So I want to have an eternal peace. I want to have Swami's blessings. I want to realize the Brahman, self-realization, blah, blah, blah. I read lots of books. Who am I? Ramana Maharishi and this and that. So many things. But do I really practice? Do I do the dharana? Do I really understand the Ashtanga Yoga, what our Swami preaches? Without having all that, how can something happen just like that? Is it magic? No. Very few people, a miracle and magic can happen. But the one who is putting the earnest, honest effort will definitely reap the benefit. That is what Swami stresses in this chapter. Remember, there is definitely no free meal. It's always somebody is paying for it. If we go to birthday party or annadana or whatever it is, you get to eat something free, but that is definitely not free. Someone is paying for it. So that someone is paying, right? That is equivalent to the effort that we need to put. Without effort, nothing will happen. Swami here says a beautiful example, gives a beautiful example in this book. I don't think anyone can go to this level of ground level of practical example other than Kadapai Paramahamsa Satchidananda Yogeshwara. I have read many books, I have went behind many Swamijis. A lot of things complicated, tough to understand. People leave it halfway through, but nobody on earth can tell me that I have read Kadapa Swami's book or I listened to Kadapa Swami's preaching, but I am not able to follow. Not even a single soul can say that I can definitely vouch for it. All right. So one such beautiful example is here. Swami gives an example about women in the family, right? So once a woman gets married and get into a family, in their in-laws family, she is being an extremely good wife, a good mom, good daughter-in-law, good sister-in-law, good wife, whatever, all that duties that she performs. But when she comes to a stage where she has her own baby, the way she focuses on the baby is not going to be equivalent to anything else that she would do at that point in time. That is literally egakritam, oneness, focus, whatever you want to call it. So Kadapa Swami asks all of us, every one of us, to put in the same kind of effort. We should contemplate a lot of time in spirituality. Now, please, for heaven's sake, God's sake, Kadapa Swami's sake, don't come and say that, sir, where is time? I don't have time. Listen, all of us have only 24 hours of time. Nobody has less or more. So it's all up to us to make or break. So if you want, you will definitely make the time. If we want, we will make the time and we will practice. And unless otherwise you practice, contemplate on the spirituality, the spiritual wisdom will never come to us. Right? This is very strong. That is why my voice is a bit stressful here. It's not that I wanted to be sounding rude here. I wanted to ensure that emphasis of what Swami says must and should reach all of us. Pardon me if my voice is bad. Try to get more into spirituality, right? So we all must strive to do that, and also we should closely observe and understand the nature of pleasure. The moment we have a pleasure or pain, go to the root of it and think, why did I get this? Why did it happen to me, first of all? It's like questioning to the void. Ask yourself. Go inward. That is one of the techniques that Swami teaches us. Remember the iPhone example? Understand the previous chapter. If you have not heard the previous chapter, please listen to the previous one, so you will connect the dots easily here, right? And also Swami gives another example. It's like when you're entering the temple, right? Just near the Dvajastambha or Gopura, leave all your desires, wrath, covetousness, egoism, selfishness, and everything possible, and go to the Garbhagudi with full and total focus, right? So that is another technique Swami gives from dharana perspective. Okay, whatever the ignorance that we have today, possess today, are the results from previous karma. So to realize the self, for the self-realization to happen and to be eternally bliss, Swami is giving two things that we must follow in our life. Two simple things. Practice will make us perfect. Number one, show same kind of love for all. Why same kind of love for all? Because every Atman is a spawn from a Paramatman. We are the speck, a small speck. Each and every Jiva is a speck of Paramatman, Paratattva. Right? This is extensively discussed in the chapter 1 of this English episodes. Please listen to that if you want to connect to the dots. And the second most important things, never ever injure anyone mentally or physically. These are the two things. If you follow very keenly, you will go a step ahead towards self-realization, right? So when I spoke about ignorance is resulting from the previous karma, so now there might be questions from what is this karma all about? Most of you all know what is this. For the benefit of those who don't know, I'm explaining it again. It might be a refresher for others who knew as well. So in fact, I read a lot, I talk a lot about it, but every time I read and talk and contemplate, I get different perspectives of it. So there's no harm in listening to this once again. So karma is of three types: Sanjita, Prarabdha, Akhamya. Sanjita is accumulated from Janma Janmas. Prarabdha is the fruit enjoyed in the present life. Akamya will fruitify hereafter. I'm using same Swami's words. I'm not making of any of my own words here. Okay. So Sanjita, we all know, it's accumulated. So Prarabdha is subset of Sanjita. For example, when I say always subset, what is this calculation? How does it derive? So from Kadapa Swami's experience, he says, if somebody has done 100 good things and 5 evil things, right? So they bring in 10 bags of good merits and 0.5 bags of evil. So that means 90 bags of merit, and remaining are the ones that going to be resulting of their evil things, that whatever they have done. Another example Swami also gives is, if somebody has done 100 bags of evil and 5 bags of good ones in their 80 years of lifespan, right? So Swami gives this as just a perspective to example. So it will be converted like 10 bags of sin and 0.5 bags of merit. So in this case, the happiness or happy moments in their lives will be less and momentary, right? So akamya is the accumulation of present life, which is again going and getting added to sanjita. So please be very clear about this cycle. So sanjita is the janma karmas. Prarabdha is what you inherit from the sanjita for this janma, and then whatever you accumulate in this janma is going back again and getting added to sanjita in the form of akamya. That is why we say we have already done enough and going through of all the previous birth karmas, and at least in this janma let me be good, let me do the right things, so that the akamya is not accumulates and go back and get added to sanjita, because sanjita we have already enough to clear it off, right? So that is why we say as we sow we reap. In Tamil we say vinay vidaitapan vinayarupan. So what you've done, you will have to go through. There's no shortcut to it. Say for example, so those who don't have kids, right, it's a bit sensitive example, but that's what Swamy gives here. All other things, whatever they do, right, they'll keep trying, and they keep saying, oh, I don't know what I did. And sometimes what happens is after visiting a holy place, they get their children's. These are all not accidental things. This Swami says these are all predetermined and not because of this janma. This is all the fruit of what we did in the previous janma is what we are going through in nutshell. So until the sanjita is burnt by spiritual wisdom, there will not be any improvement in our spiritual path. Let us be very, very clear here, okay? So only at that point in time, Jiva Brahmaikyam will happen. Again, let me clarify here. Unlike Sanjitam, Prarabdham won't go away. It has to be gone only by means of going through the Prarabdha karma in this janma, in this body that we have taken for that purpose, right? So that is why if you see really a mature jnanis, even for Ramana Maharishi or many other saints, right, in their last times, last days, they will not go for any treatment, they will not go for anything. They will say, yeah, this is my karma, I have to go through the cancerous state that Ramana Maharishi was in. They say that he was very unwilling to meet the doctors or get any treatment done, because he wants to clear that. He has taken this body to go through all these things and get it cleared, so that you don't have any remnants, backlog for the next one. So that is what Swami is clarifying here, right? And okay, fine, you're talking so much about all these things, a bit clear and not very clear. Let me listen to this again. But you tell me, is there a way at all Swami says that I can reduce some amount in my sanjita? Is it possible at all, or this chain is going to continue ever, and don't I have any other means to get out of this? Yes, we have a means. Swami is very clearly saying that how do I burn my sanjita? By spiritual wisdom. How do I get spiritual wisdom? By practicing detachment, abstraction of mind, doing things without much of an attachment. Don't expect a lot of results. Dedicate all the actions to Paramatman. If you are a Krishna follower, say Sarvam Krishna Arpanam. Krishna Arpanamastu. If you are a Ishvara follower, say Sarvam Ishvara Arpanam. And that will culminate to your eternal freedom. Okay. Only meditation will help and burn the sanjita. And one has to live a life based on what is laid out in Ashtanga Yoga. Swami is very, very clear about it, and he preaches a lot of things on these lines. So one has to practice in their lifetimes yama, niyama, pranayama, dharana, pratyahara, asana, and samadhi. So a quick examples of yama means restraints, like ahimsa following, be satyanishta, shama, being patient, all those aspects. Niyama is like charity, cleanliness, austerity, you name it. And pranayama is exhalation, inhalation, retention. We know that Reshaka, Puraka, Kumbhaka. And dharana is like practicing for the Ekagritam, different techniques to practice the Ekagritam, meditation, dhyana, japa, a lot of things come under that. Asana, it means the posture, different asanas, padmasana, siddhasana, whatever works for us. And samadhi is a superconscious state of tranquility. And samadhi is something that, let us be very clear, Swamy also makes it very clear, you cannot practice and reach, what I meant to say was, we cannot directly get to, there are no direct techniques that will take us to samadhi. By doing all this Ashtanga Yoga and being Satyanishta, following everything, having a spiritual wisdom, doing a right dharana, doing a right meditation methods will get you to samadhi state. Samadhi is a state that will happen. Let us be very clear. All right? Let us all have blessings of Kadapa Swamy in abundance, and let us contemplate on this. Let us listen to this over and over again. And if you have questions, feel free to post it in the forum. We will be glad to discuss, as satsang is one of the key part to attain the spiritual wisdom. Jai Shri Paramahamsa Sachidananda Yogeshwara.